Finally, some great news. Now, the price obviously hasn't cared. I don't care. I'm going to add shares today if this is what it may be. Now, I don't want to get everyone's hopes up. I have information here that is legit, and I have information here that is not yet to be confirmed. But essentially, what we have is a Wickhams, whatever, SAPHYR adoption, baby, simple as it gets. Now, this is good news, obviously, but I want to go over the details with you, right? So we got the announcement that was on June 26th, and we're gonna go over the actual article, how I got this shit, right? The link. I'm gonna give you the link. Make sure it's legit. You all can fact check me on this, right? But basically, thank you to Brennan and the Stotswoods boys for letting me know, right? They are awesome. June 26th, contract likely signed during quarter 2, and this is another SAPHYR adoption that is likely to increase the quarter 2 revenue past the fucking estimates and to a freaking beat and lead us to get that freaking $10 price target, baby. Now, next up, they work with over 200 hospitals. Literally, they work with over 200 hospitals and will essentially be acting as salesmen unintentionally for us, as they will talk at presentations about why structural variation detection is so important and how many SAPHYRs is this and how much, right? So, hold on. Before we talk about how many this is, that's kind of where we get into the speculative realm. This is true. They are literally working with over 200 hospitals, right here. Okay, so Wickhams Bioservice, whatever, yada, yada. Business cooperation with more than 200 hospitals nationwide. And we're going to read some of this stuff, but they are literally going to be, as we're going to see in this article, please watch that part. It's important. They are going to be presenting to like a lot of people and telling everybody why they made the switch and why structural variation detection, in their view, is more important than single nucleotide polymorphism, otherwise known as SNP detection. And that's, okay, whether they know it or not, whether they do this on purpose or not, they're literally being salesmen for us, which is amazing. And I love that they're doing this. This is absolutely amazing. Now, how many SAPHYRs is this? How much money, right? So there was a rumor. This is probably not true. If this was true, I would add like 500 shares right now. But apparently somebody said that it was 20 machines being sold. Now, if it was 20 machines being sold, let's just pull up a calculator, okay? We know that each SAPHYR is going to be, at least the sale is going to be at least 100K. So if this really was 20 machines being sold, if we just plug in the numbers, you're looking at what, $3 million just from, that's a whole quarter's worth of revenue in this one sale if it was 20 machines. Now, I don't think it is. Now, if it was 20 machines, I think we would be up like 10% right now. Okay, I mean, if not more than that, right? I mean, we honestly should be like up more like 30%, maybe even higher if we got $3 million and just like that, and that's going to be quarter 2, right? If this is legit, which it's as legit as you can get. Okay, I'll link it to you. Tell me if you find any reason not to believe this, but this is huge news. Now, what this is more likely, it's more like 1 to like 5, so it's probably more like 200,000 to maybe bull case $1 million in revenue, because we don't exactly know how many SAPHYRs are actually being sold here. Now, what we do know is that these guys they entered a agreement. Now, this is what gets me excited. This is what makes me think that, okay, maybe it is like several SAPHYRs, or 20 is a little bit insane. That would be amazing if it was, but they are entered into a strategic partnership. It's not like they're doing one single sale. Strategic partnership, that sounds like a deal where they're going to be getting several SAPHYRs and using it and doing a lot of high volume. And as we can see, and we're going to get into this as well, this should be another point. Let me write that down as well. It's high volume. It's high sample volume equals high consumable revenue, right? That's as simple as it gets. Okay, we're getting a lot of consumable revenue from stuff like this, studies and people who are adopting SAPHYR for this reason, like a specific reason, and doing a ton of stuff with it. That is huge. This is going to be $500,000. Okay, I mean, it's going to be more than that. It's going to be more than that by the end of the year. If it's several SAPHYRs being adopted, it might be $1 million just by these guys by the end of the year, when you consider this consumable revenue and all the sales from this. If it's several SAPHYRs, which I don't know. Okay, strategic partnership, that sounds like more than one SAPHYR to me, but we don't know. So I don't want to say it's for sure several SAPHYRs. Let's just be conservative. Let's just say it's one, right? So introduces SAPHYR platform. The SAPHYR system enables ultra-sensitive, yada, yada. We already know all this stuff. Now, if we go down here as to what they're actually doing, they're going to explore the field of genetic diseases, greatly increasing speed, flux, data processing capabilities, simplifying workflows, providing more disease detection, and assisted diagnostic okay, listen to that keyword, diagnostic solutions for scientific research, clinicians, patients, and promoting reduced incidence of birth defects and improved diagnostic levels of rare diseases, right? So you can see they're going to use this for a ton of stuff, and just based on that paragraph alone, high volume, high sample volume, more consumable revenue, guys. Now let's go down here. So it goes over a lot of this stuff, and basically they're going to they are actively cooperating with academic institutions such as the Shanghai Genetic Society, okay, yada yada, all of these ones. and they are going to be and jointly conducts and participates in a number of major academic conferences on the subject of structural variation detection, inviting and organizing lectures and conferences by many well-known experts and scholars to help clinicians update their knowledge, update their technology, and help improve the level of clinical diagnosis and treatment and ultimately benefit patients. Okay, literally, let me just translate that for you. What they just said is that they're going to be doing conferences with the other people in their field, their peers, and help them to improve their knowledge and technology. Otherwise, we just adopted the SAPHYR because it's better than all the other shit. You should too. That's it. That's exactly it. Now, are we going to see a ton of sales because of this? Okay, we've seen the NHS stuff. And remember, we don't know about all the SAPHYR sales in quarter two. But we've seen several stuff like this, similar. Like, okay, we're going to tell, basically ape language. We've got a lot of sales and adoptions and articles that say they're going to go and do the presentation to tell people about this, basically. And there haven't been a ton of sales because of it, but we don't know about those sales because the company's so damn secretive, and we only find out about like 1/4 or 1/3 about the SAPHYR adoptions until earnings. And even in the earnings, we don't actually know about all of them. So this is amazing. This is amazing news, and I don't actually want to go over all this. We're going to go over the rest of this in the stream, but I wanted to get this out to you as quick as possible. We also have a ton of other news. Okay, well, this isn't necessarily news, but this one is. We have 8 talks and post presentations at the 13th European Cytogenetics Conference. We have tomorrow, which is going to be, well, no, not tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. Sorry, July 3rd. That's going to be the BGCI conference. That's our CMO's doing that, and then our CMO is also doing on July 2nd to 4th. She's also doing the 6th Annual International Conference of the Board of Genetic Counseling. So that's not the BGIC thing. That's the India thing. So the company, we're going to talk about what they're doing in earnings more and in the stream more, but I mean, there's a clear trend here. The company is doing 1,000 things, and we're getting sales, we're getting adoptions up to earnings. I think this is amazing news, to put it lightly, right? You do what you got to do based on this news. And of course, yesterday we got Eric Holman. He's coming out before earnings, July 13th. I am expecting him, and I talked to Brendan, and I think he's going to hopefully say something new. I think there's a realistic chance he's going to say something new here. I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, with that being said, to sort of recap this point, right? So recap this video. Basically, if you didn't pay attention to anything, pay attention now. Wickhams, whatever, SAPHYR adoption, they added. I'll link this in the pinned comment if I remember. Tell me to in the stream if I forget. The announcement was on June 26th. The contract likely signed during quarter 2. All right, now these guys work with 200 hospitals, and essentially they're going to be promoting the SAPHYR whether they know it or not. And they know it. They definitely know it, because they're going to be talking to all the other people in these conferences and telling them why they switched and why they may want to switch, right? The technology, remember that quote that I said, and help them improve their technology, right? Go back. That's a very important quote in the article. How many SAPHYRs is this, and how much money? We don't know that. That's when you get speculative, right? If this was 20 SAPHYRs, like someone was saying, it's over. We're going to $15. I don't think it's true, though, because the institutions, they probably would have connections, and they could contact these guys. They would know, and then they would add a ton of shares. So I don't know if that's likely, but it definitely is at least one SAPHYR sale, at least. Okay, it's probably more like a couple. Well, I don't know. I shouldn't say it's more like a couple, but I think one thing is for sure. I think this is likely to result in a lot of chain reaction adoptions. Simple as it gets. Also, high sample volume equals high consumable revenue. This is just yet another reason to believe quarter 2 revenue is going to be damn good. Now, with that being said, thank y'all so much. This is the portfolio. Let's go ahead and do the password real quick. Thank y'all so much. This is Now Financial Advice. I will see y'all in the next one.